The unintended consequence of Mr. Garner's death must have a consequence of its own. Therefore, I agree with the Deputy Commissioner of Trials' legal findings and recommendations. It is clear that Daniel Pantaleo can no longer effectively serve as a New York City police officer. The NYPD court ruled that while certainly not preferable, that hold was acceptable during that brief moment in time because the risk of falling through the window was so high. But that exigent circumstance no longer existed, the court found, when Officer Pantaleo and Mr. Garner moved to the ground. Every time I watch that video, I say to myself, as probably all of you do, to Mr. Garner, don't do it. Comply. To Officer Pantaleo, don't do it. I said that about the decisions made by both Officer Pantaleo and Mr. Garner. But none of us can take back our decisions, most especially when they lead to the death of another human being.
He's firing a police officer who even said almost 300 arrests, took numerous guns off the street, 14 commendations from the New York City Police Department, an exemplary police officer, not a troublemaker. That meant nothing.
Yeah, Pantaleo, you may have lost your job, but I lost a son.
That's right.
July 17, 2014. I lost my son. You cannot replace that. You can get another job, maybe at Burger King, okay?
We will be going to the state of New York to ask that they begin to make it illegal by law, the use of the chokehold. It ought to be a state law and a federal law that chokeholds by police is punishable with a crime, not just termination.
Officer Pantaleo, well, now I can say Daniel Pantaleo is a murderer, and that's just how I feel. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and now I wear it on my chest. I feel that he is a murderer. Commissioner O'Neill, I thank you for doing the right thing. I truly, sincerely thank you for firing the officer. Regardless to however you came up to your decision, you finally made a decision that should have been made 5 years ago. We will be going for the congressional hearings. We will be trying to reopen the case. We will be going after the rest of the officers involved because it's not over. Justice for New York City means Pantaleo is fired and there's no murdering cop on the police force.